Hi, today I'm gonna share you how I'm eating, why I think eating healthy is important, and I'm also gonna define, or I'm not sure if I'm able to define, but I will tell you how I think eating healthy means. I'm also gonna show you a few supplements what I'm using and telling some facts about those. Welcome to today's episode. So, I'm Janika Ruuska, and this is my study journey. I'm studying neuroscience at the University of Helsinki, here in Finland. So I'm doing my master's there. During this journey, I have shared, and I'm still gonna share, what I have learned and what I will learn while I'm studying neuroscience. And once in a while, I'm sharing my basic life and some thoughts what I'm just getting while I'm studying. Remember to subscribe to the channel. So nice to have you here. I actually almost picked up the topic how to eat healthy. But then quite quickly I realized that is the topic where people argue a lot. There are a lot of trends changing, and we have so many different opinions about those. I personally think that there is this kind of main components which makes eating healthy, but some diet what I'm using is not probably working for everyone. I bet it's not working for everyone. So we need to study from our own body what is best for us. But there are some guidelines and basic structures there which makes eating healthy. So, instead of telling you how to eat healthy, I will describe how I'm eating. You may try some of the things what I'm doing. I gotta say that I have studied my own body quite a lot. I have tried quite many different diets, and I have learned. We have this saying in Finland, kantapään kautta. You can use it in English, but it basically means that I have tried and failed quite heavily and learned from those. Main point here will be you will learn something, you can try some of these things, but you need to study your own body. And the changes are not gonna happen in one night. If you have some allergies, that's totally different thing. Just remember your allergies. I'm actually having a course which is kind of handling this topic and related to neuroscience, which I can study during the summer. So let's see how far I will get with that course and if I will share some information from there. But let's go to today's topic. So I will tell you how I'm eating and what I'm eating. I was thinking that should I share the calories what I'm eating? And I decide I will. It's always a little bit risky, but now I really want you to remember that even though I'm eating that much calories, it doesn't mean that it fits for you. And really important thing is that it's not just about calories. It's really important what you have there in your diet to make it as a healthy eating. I'm not 100% sure how much kilocalories I'm eating per day nowadays. I have learned to kind of listen my signals from my body, and I have kind of boring way of eating, which I will tell you soon. But I remember that at some point, I think it's few years back now, I calculated how much I'm eating calories and what is kind of good amount of calories to keep my weight where it is now. So during that time, I was pretty similar size, maybe a little bit leaner. So I'm 172 centimeters tall and I weigh over 60 kilos. One important thing here is also that my body type is different from yours, I bet. So these kind of centimeters or kilograms or kilocalories doesn't kind of tell you how you should do things. But these maybe gives you some kind of image, how much energy person might consume. I was training on that point, I think 3 to 4 times per week, really intensively. So these are the numbers which are not secret for me. And the calories, like the kilocalories, what I ate per day were 2,500. And how I came to this conclusion was that I ate pretty similar things every day. So I think I did it for 2 to 3 weeks, that I wrote everything down what I was eating. And I was also taking my weight, so I was able to see how my weight is going, and I knew that it's really, really stable. We have this Finnish website where you can put those, and it gives you all the calories and everything, like macros and so on. So from there I learned that because my weight was stable and I was eating almost every day the same amount of calories, so that told me that I'm using that amount of energy when my weight is stable. But as I mentioned, at the moment I don't count how much calories I'm eating. I'm not putting anything to my any kind of food diary. So at the moment I'm eating way more relaxed way, and it fits for me. So my basic diet at the moment is that I eat fish, chicken and veggies. I learned that this diet is called pesco polo vegetarian or something like that. I have been eating like that since I was 15, so quite many years ago, over 10 years ago. I will not go more deep into those decisions which I have made then, but I have learned that this kind of diet is at least working for me at the moment. Basically, I might skip breakfast. Most of the mornings I'm skipping breakfast. I used to eat breakfast and it was also good. This is just that I'm not feeling hungry when I'm waking up. I might have my coffee, then I continue the day, and then I eat lunch pretty early, like between 11 and 12. So basically I'm eating 3 to 4 times per day. Most of the days I'm eating 4 times per day. I used to eat 5 times per day and really strict times, and I know that there are benefits eating 5 times per day, even though it's not needed. What I mean by this is that if there is some problems with, for example, recognizing the hunger signals, then I think it's really useful to kind of learn to eat in these specific times. So you can kind of teach to your body these really, that you are eating these regular times. And maybe when you might be a bit late with your lunch, then you might recognize that, okay, this is the hunger. Also for some people, it's really important to get the energy during the day, really like all the time, not all the time, but you know what I mean, like not at once or twice, but during the day to get the energies. I used to do fasting. I have done, as I mentioned, quite many different diets. Also fasting. At the moment, I haven't done it for a few months, but I used to do it only once per month, so I just kind of felt that I want to clean my body. I don't know, it was just a feeling. I don't know if there was any benefits for just once per month, but it was 24 hours fasting, so not eating but drinking water, and I had coffee and tea, and in water I might have some salt. And I also have done this, was it 8 plus 16, that you eat everything in 8 hours and then you fast 16 hours, intermittent fasting. So at the moment I'm not following any kind of fasting rules either. But what then I do eat? So as I mentioned, I eat in really relaxed way, but I also want to offer a lot of good things to my body, so it may function as optimal as possible. So I'm not kind of avoiding highly processed food, but I'm not craving it either. So I prefer to choose something which is not so processed. Like I buy a lot of different veggies, which I cook by myself, plain chicken, so I add all the flavors there by myself. Yeah, a lot of greens, fruits and berries, and fish and chicken. beans, eggs, a little bit milk products. I love Turkish yogurt. I don't choose sugar-free or low-fat products. I have times when I don't usually eat bread. I'm not avoiding it, but what comes to bread, it doesn't usually take the hunger for a long time away. So I eat it because I like the taste. So once in a while I might have even weeks or months that I'm eating it a lot, but normally I'm maybe eating something else. So my basic eating would be that if I would eat breakfast, then I would eat Turkish yogurt with blueberries and cinnamon. That's really like basic thing. I can eat also as a kind of snack if I'm hungry between the lunch and dinner. And then for lunch I might eat some maybe chicken and maybe broccoli. That's one of my favorite, cooked with either butter, or I like the flavor, or then olive oil and salt. Then there might be some snack, maybe some fruits, sometimes bread. Then for the dinner, I might have, for example, rice or rice noodles. I love those, or potatoes, and maybe some chicken or tuna, or eggs, or avocado, or salad. So many options there, but basically really simple food. And one reason for that, of course, it's not so processed food, and I'm really lazy chef. So that's why I'm not cooking nothing really special. I used to do meal prep once a week. I cooked different options for carbs and then protein sources, and then I had fat there too. And it was really, really working methods. I did it every Sunday. I think I did it for 1 year. And I had different options in my freezer, so it was easy during the weeks to take those. But now I haven't done that for a while. What comes to sweets? So I'm really into sweets. Every kind of desserts, cakes, ice cream, sugar. That's the thing what I'm craving quite a lot. I'm not a salty person. I allow those to myself. So I might eat sometimes even every day something small. My favorite is cinnamon bun, and then some ice cream, maybe pistachio. Those I love. Raw chocolate, dark chocolate. But the problem is that my skin reacts pretty easily to sugar, so that's why I'm not eating it. Like if I notice that, okay, my skin reacts to that, then I can't eat it for a moment. I'm not here saying that everyone should eat like this and everyone should have a sweet things, but this is for my mind. I love those. And I know that some people are completely avoiding sugary things and really thinks that sugar is really bad. I don't like to think like that. If you want to think like that, I'm not here to say to not to do that, but I prefer eat more flexible way. I take care of my health and enjoy the life. I wouldn't say that crazy amount sugar is really good. It's that I know that it's not. But a little amount there and there, kind of balanced, it's okay. I drink coffee on the morning and around midday, and I don't feel it affects the amount what I'm sleeping, but if I drink it later, I can notice that my sleep quality is not so good. So that's why I keep the coffee on the morning side. What comes to alcohol, I do drink, for example, wine or beer once in a while. It's sometimes nice, but I'm not so big fan of it. So I'm usually drinking it with someone. So there has been a lot talking about intuitive eating, and I have talked about it and mentioned this, what I'm gonna say, quite many times, and I keep repeating it. So intuitive eating, kind of listening to your body, what it needs, and kind of following the intuition. It's really nice thing, but it doesn't need to be everyone's thing. If some person haven't studied how their body is working, it's really hard just from there to learn to listen to your body. Yeah, I just want to take the pressure away. And if it's not your thing, and if the eating more strictly way doesn't cause any harm, and you really want to keep that, then that's okay. But what comes to intuitive eating, the one important point there is to learning your own needs, what your body needs. And one really good thing to learning these things is if you are like eating certain stuff for a certain time and then having a really tight schedule with the eating, and you are learning how your body reacts, is also that when you are eating intuitive way and something happens in your life and you get maybe more stressed, or you sleep like highly stressed and in a long time, or you would sleep a long time so that you don't sleep enough. Stress and sleeping poorly is really common thing, so we don't need to stress about those things more. But if those are kind of prolonged and affecting to you in a really many way, it also affects to your hunger signals. So when you have learned your body, it's a really good way to go back to, okay, I know that this kind of eating helps me to feel really good maybe in a mental and a physical way. Maybe one thing before going to the supplements, what I'm using, our body is changing during our lives. So what our body needed when we were teenager is different when we become adults or elders. So the learning process is lifelong. Okay, just one more thing before supplements. So quite many people are asking, how about proteins, fats, and carbs? How much should I eat? And there are these really kind of basic protocols, I would say, kind of high carbs, balanced, and high fat. So these three options are pretty normal options there. So protein, fats, and carbs go so that in high carbs, it's 20, 10, and 70%. In balanced is 25, 25, and 50. And in high fat, it is around 23, 70, and 7. And these percentages might be different from different sources, but this source is actually from one book which I really liked. It's called The World Fittest book. I will put it to the description box so you can find it from there. And I don't read it in a really kind of strict way that everything there is super true, because it's all about learning from our own body. But there are a lot of facts about training and nutrition which I have found from many different sources. So that book is kind of collecting the really kind of working and basic information. So I feel the book is really good because I have heard the similar facts from different sources and from the sources which I really trust. This is actually the same thing what I'm using with the supplements. So I'm not always 100% sure why I'm eating certain supplements, but I have these few people around me who are really into those, and they really know things, and they really can talk and explain why some supplement is good, and so I usually accept those. Of course, I'm also looking a little bit information, but if I would try to have all the knowledge in the world, it would just take time instead of doing things. So then it's nice to have these people who knows more than I know. So I will go through the supplements, what I'm using, and giving you some basic facts about some of those. And I highly recommend the website which I mentioned in previous episode, so I will put that also in the description box, so you can find it from there. So you can type the supplement there and it will give you some information about it. So the supplements what I'm gonna showing you, this is not that you need to buy this one what I'm having, this specific one, if you need to buy it at all, the supplement. So these are just happens to be the supplements which I trust, and they haven't paid me for anything. But I know at least some of the people behind of these products, and I trust for them, and I know that certain people who are more aware of everything, they also use these supplements. So in Finland, at least, these are the ones which I trust. So the first two supplements, what I will show you, are magnesium and D vitamin. So these are the really basic one. D vitamin I take every morning and magnesium every evening. Normally D vitamin is, you can get it from the sun and the fish. It's really good at your immune system, muscles, bones, cognition. The magnesium supplement, I actually figured out that I take it 180 milligrams per day. So D vitamin 200 micrograms and magnesium 180 milligrams per day. But I was looking that with the magnesium it can be, I think it can be even more, but the normal amount what people are taking is 200 to 400. So I'm taking quite a less. It's good for protein synthesis and bones and for muscle function. If you are feeling sore from your muscles, it should help. This supplement which I'm using is having magnesium malate, magnesium glucinate, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, and magnesium taurate. Taurate? Yes, that one. So then also I'm taking B vitamin complex. I don't know if this is actually good, I'm just using it because it's spray, and actually this is related to another thing. So I'm using the Sakmuk, so the probiotics, and this is just because I took this organic acid test and the result was so that I really need to take that one for a certain time, a certain amount, and then I need to have more B vitamins and also magnesium, and it would be nice to have during the day, so that's why I picked up the spray, but I need to look more. I'm not always following really strictly everything what I'm learning, but this is what I should do. Then for the next ones, these are maybe more interesting than the kind of these basic supplements what I'm using. These ones, these can even fit to the picture. I will tell you more about this. So the L-glutamine, it's really essential amino acid, one of these 20 you need to have. So it's really important for your protein synthesis in your body. You can get it from meat and eggs, and also from whey and casein protein. It's a compound which supports your intestinal and immune system. It's also showed that it reduces sugar craving. Personally, I take it around 5 grams per day, so it was L-glutamine. The next one what I want to mention is taurine. So it is this sulfur-containing amino acid. Normally, like from food, you can get it from meat and fish and some dairy products. It's really essential for many functions that they function optimally. For example, cardiovascular function, as well as brain, skeletal muscle, and retinal functions. It acts as membrane or lipid stabilizer. Taurine is heavily researched as anti-diabetic compound. I'm taking it 500 milligrams per day, and it's said that you can take it also up to 2000 milligrams per day. I remember that I started it, somehow it was related to caffeine. So when I drink coffee, I took that. Also the other supplement which I will mention soon. So the next one is L-theanine. It's an amino acid which is one of the main active ingredient in green tea. It's shown that it helps with relaxation, so it reduces anxiety and stress levels. And it's shown that it may have an effect as an antagonist of caffeine. So this reduces the blood pressure. And these two, I remember that I started somehow when I was drinking coffee, I took those first. So especially with L-theanine, they are saying that if you take 200 milligrams caffeine and 200 milligrams L-theanine, it promotes your cognition and attention. The last one, what I want to mention, which I had there, is creatine. In addition to this powder, you can get it from meat and fish. It's the molecule which is produced from amino acids. mainly by liver. So it has these phosphate groups which are donated to ATP production so that ADP can become as an ATP. And ATP is really important energy carrier in our body. So it's really, really important when high amounts of energy is needed, for example, in physical exercise. But research has also pointing out that it might be important for mental tasks too. So when strength and power is needed, creatine might be really useful. Personally, I'm taking it 5 grams per day. But I know that there is these loading protocols, and I recommend to check those if you are more interested in about those, or you have heard of that, just check that. I just realized that now it sounds that I'm actually taking these every day, and it should be so. But I'm sometimes a bit lazy, and I forget when they are in my closet to take these. So now when I'm doing this video, I really need to start to do that again and see how it affects to my mood and energy levels. So, today we talked quite a lot about different things. And I think the main point here is that eating healthy is really important. It promotes that you can feel good and you give everything needed to your body so your body can function in really optimal way. Remember that things what I mentioned may work for you but may not. We are living in a different body, so you need to learn things from your own body. Of course, there are these basic structures and recommended things. So the basic structures, we need carbs, fats, and proteins, and vitamins and minerals, and so on. Personally, I think not so processed food is better, but if there is some processed food, and nowadays there might be processed food which are kind of mimicking the food what we are actually doing at home, then you just need to check the ingredients what are there. So I'm not banning any kind of processed food, but just maybe be aware what is in your food. And if it's processed food and you feel good, that's again that you have learned that from yourself. Remember also that changes are not normally happening in one night. So this is also good to remember if you think that you eat something you think it's really unhealthy once in a while. It's not shocking our body. If you don't like the idea of intuitive eating, learning to listen to what your body needs, that's also fine. But if you recognize that you may have some kind of problem, the food is controlling your life, or like you can't do anything else, please then ask help from professionals. So my 2 words here would be learn and live. So this was all for today. Thank you for watching and see you on next time. Bye.